welcome. This is Aishi Farasi. In this episode of Unplugged with Masters, we have got a fascinating story of a Hyderabad-based couple who are road schooling their children. Well, road schooling sounds like an alien term to you, isn't it? Well, let me tell you that road schooling is a very popular trend with the families who homeschool their children while traveling. Travel and educate your kids at the same time. Meet Gangadharkrishnan and his wife Ramya Lakshminath, who lived a fast-paced life in the corporate sector for a decade. Soon after that, they realized how important it is for them to travel and hit the road. They also wanted their twin daughters Ananya and Amulya to see and learn beyond the grind of standardized tests and structured classroom learning. Hello and welcome to PMC English. This is Aishi Farasi and I'm back again with another episode of Unplugged with Masters. Today we will be in conversation with Mr. Gangadharkrishnan and his wife Ramya Lakshminath. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time to us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
From a corporate career of about 18 years to starting up a travel startup, I would like to know about this journey. How did you land up here with the concept of road schooling?
Want to go about it?
Yeah. So the thing is, we have always liked travel. From when we got married, we've been traveling quite a bit. After they were born, also from when they were just 6 months, we have been traveling to places. And we also, we never realized that, we were road schooling them, but we used to travel with them quite a bit. In fact, even during the school years, fortunately, they've also been in schools where, they would get permission to travel for long and things like that. Yeah, we took them on trips. And then when they opted to go for homeschooling, we went for this homeschooling meet in Bangalore where they said, that what you are doing, the concept you are doing, travel and learning, it's more like road schooling because that's what you do road trips and they are learning through. Because we told that, whenever we travel, they learn. And the reason for going for this is because I have worked in schools for many years. I've been a teacher. And somehow we looked for schools which would cater to holistic learning, but somehow we always came, most schools, they get pressured by parents or the surroundings or whatever. It was not going with the way we wanted. So finally, we went for...
Yeah, and also when people hear this word called road schooling, they should not get confused with actual schooling happening while traveling. That is what road schooling is. Also, people think when they hear the word homeschooling, they hear schooling happening inside 4 walls of a house and parents being the only teachers. Those are all disastrous things, should never happen. So, if we have to little bit define road schooling in a way people can relate to, I would say that everybody knows that travel has a way of making people humble, right? It exposes them to so much that it is impossible for any school or even parents to make certain experiences available to children, right? So when these kind of experiential things happen to the kids, there is no reason or it is effortless for us to just teach anything to them, right? The nature itself is teaching them. So this is how I think people should understand road schooling from our perspective, isn't it, Ramya?
Yes.
There are many aspects to that. People get confused. Okay, if they are doing road schooling and they are saying that there is no school, then what will happen to the children, right? That anxiety start. Okay, okay. Everybody understands that travel is good, and they understand also that kids learn a lot during travel. But the next question is, will they get a job? Right? Okay, what will happen to their future? And to some of them who have girls, they are like, okay, will they get a good husband? Okay, or the boys, even when they are very young, the mothers or fathers, they have this question, okay, do you think without a degree, a BE or a law degree or an MBA, do you think he'll get a good wife? Okay, so we feel that is all too far-fetched. Okay, so to put it in the right perspective, what we are at least going through is road schooling until 10 years. Our kids are now about going to be 11 years. Until 10 years, we focus on life skills, right? And basic values of life and keeping that humanity intact in kids. Before doing them, teaching these things, if we teach maths and science, then what happens is they start thinking that, oh, I know this formula, now I am the center of the universe. They see on YouTube and they think, okay, now I know rock climbing because I have seen 5 minutes of video, isn't it? But now when we take them to a rock, okay, while traveling and say, okay, come, you climb this, then they get the awe of the nature, the power of nature. They are not able to climb initially, isn't it? So we want them to be in that awe, right? And we both are not so, what do you say, in the urge to teach anything, because the questions should remain. Yes. Only then that self-centeredness will not come. See, I learned that I am not the center of the universe at 40 years. Okay, so the question is, why should they wait till 40 years or any number of years to figure that out? Right? And we cannot introduce spirituality at this young age. Right? So it has to be through experiences that they love to do. Yes. Okay, so that is a kind of, road schooling that I would say. And to everybody watching this, I can give them full confidence that they will turn out to be very good human beings. Okay, I will not compare them with kids going to normal school, because there is no comparison. And I'll tell you why. Because failure is a better teacher than success. The more you allow your kids to do something and fail, the more they realize, the more they learn. Instead, the other way of doing it is, okay, I got first rank in the class, everybody clap. They don't know what it is like to be second. They don't know what it is like to be failed. Right? But when you take them out for travel, okay, when you make them do things, the experiential learning, a lot of failure happens. For example, Amulya was holding a crane which has some syringes to move it. It was not moving. Right? We didn't help her. It took her 2-3 days to figure out what needs to be done. But that is the learning that we want them to have.
Yes.
Practical learning.
See, learning should not be for going and writing an exam. And having been a teacher, I have seen that once they write an exam, they have forgotten. Because once they have written everything in the exam, even the next day you ask the same questions, they don't remember, because they have mug up, or that the pressure of that exam is lifted off their head. They forget everything.
Yes.
We want them to learn for the pleasure of learning, to gain knowledge in the right way, and it shouldn't be that, whatever they are learning, see, most of us, whatever we have studied, I don't think we are putting it into use as we grow up. But we don't want that to happen to them.
Yes.
That, whatever they study or whatever they learn, it should be useful for them in their life.
In their real life,
Yeah,
isn't
in
it?
their real life.
And how it started for us was, like she told, we didn't even know we were road schooling. Okay, the first travel happened exactly about 10 years ago, when they were 6 months old. We have twin daughters. So when they were 6 months old, we just took them out. Okay, to Coorg. We were living in Bangalore at that time. So we took them to Coorg. And two things that are very commonly told in our, or let me say from the practical point of view, after wedding, okay, if either spouse does not like travel, then travel decreases. That is one truth. Then after kids, there will be some or the other person who will be discouraging us from traveling.
Yes.
Okay, so now the only good thing that we did is we did not take that to heart. How many ever discouragements happened? Okay, many people are there out to tell, oh, ye ho jayega, infection ho jayega, what will you do with water? Food is not there, your kid will get lost.
It's not just about people telling or anything. It's like, the thing is, we are brought up with that mindset that, a small baby means you shouldn't go out, you should keep them protected, and they can't take all weathers and all these things. See, we have seen a lot of couples. One, they have been traveling prior to the birth of the kid, but once the kid is born, they stop traveling. But we also see the frustration of that where they are frustrated and they're like, they're blaming the child. Because of the child, I'm not able to do what I wanted to do. Especially mothers, they have this, they stop their entire life the way it was before the birth of a child, and they transform to something else, which they're sacrificing quite a bit. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to blame my children, saying that because of them I'm not able to do something. I wanted to include them into our lifestyle. They should be part of what we were already doing. It shouldn't be that they have come that we'll change the way we were living. Yes, our ways of traveling has changed. Previously we would just pick up a backpack and go, and we didn't bother to book. Now of course we have again started doing that, but when they were very young, we had to book the hotels initially, check some things and all. But we continue to do what we liked doing, and they also took to it. So since they are doing it from so young, they also started enjoying travel, getting used to living, because travel is you have to adapt to different weathers, different places, different food, different kind of people. So they got used to it. In fact, now they look forward to it, and they love nature, be it a beach or mountain or whatever, they like to spend time with nature. And the places we go, you can't, when you're in nature, there are insects, there are reptiles, there are all sorts of things. So they are very used to being with all these things. And I feel that, we have come very far away from nature nowadays. And we don't want to, children are scared of insects, and they think that they are separate or we are separate. But we are all part of the same universe. So we should learn to live with each other.
And when we started doing like that with infants, not even talking about kids or toddlers, with infants, then one of the common thing that I have heard when I was a child or when I was a teenager is, okay, the child is so small, they will not even remember what they saw. That's a very common thing many parents believe, but we would like to tell with confidence that that is not true. Our experience with our kids is that the kids actually go through a lot of things, like how Ramya says, just the change of smell. Okay, or the weather changes and you get a different smell. Just the different colors, different kinds of people, different languages they are speaking. Kid may not understand anything, but there's a lot of things that is going on inside the kid that we cannot understand as education. We are not taught to think that that is education, but the kids are learning very deeply that we are not capable of teaching. Right? So that is priceless.
Yes.
And we have seen that in our kids. And automatically, as they grow up a little bit more, okay, like she was saying, I would like to give an example. In urban places like this, if there is a football, we have a big place in front of our house, so they play. And usually what happens, I'm not saying everybody is like this, if the kid who owns that football, okay, doesn't get enough times to kick, okay, the tendency nowadays is like, okay, I will take my football and go. Right. Isn't it? Now, what is this teaching kids? That if you own something materialistic, okay, you have a lot of power. Isn't it? That's what, whether you like it or not, the kids will make out of it. They might make another thing also about it. But our experience, I will tell you, we were in Cherrapunji, right? We had taken a school full of people, okay, and our kids were also there. And we are watching. Suddenly it is raining. Right, there is about a 5-year-old kid and a 3-year-old or 2-year-old kid. There is only one umbrella. What normally we expect in urban societies, and I'm not blaming urban societies, the pressures are like that, there will be fight. Okay, who will get the umbrella? Right, but here so coolly that 5-year-old boy took that girl, put her on top of his head, opened the umbrella, gave it to her hand. Both of them are going as though nothing happened.
Yeah.
Now what does this teach? Right? Now the thing is, when I am in an urban society like this, I am not saying people like this are not there, but it is difficult for me to find. But when I travel outside, we have a special affinity to Northeast. So this happened somewhere in the Northeast. So when it happened more and more, then Ramya and I wanted to travel more and more in those places. where it's so easy to find these examples. And I would say that tremendous effect is there from this kind of road schooling on kids, yeah, at least at the younger ages.
So you use this unstructured education and travel as a tool to impart it. So how far it is different and useful to the kids as compared to the usual school education?
Somehow it is decided that mango is the king of fruits. Okay. Now, irrespective of what God gave us, okay, whether they gave a banana tree to us, I am talking about a kid, okay, if you compare them, or a shrub, or a flowering plant, or a thorny plant, everybody has decided that at the end of 10 plus 2 years education, you have to become a mango.
Because
It's
the king
decided.
of fruits, right?
Okay, it's pre-decided. Okay, because if you become mango, then people will buy. That means you'll get a good salary. If you become this, you will be loved. If you do this, but they did not figure out whether banana is there or cotton plant is given to you or not. So what we do all our life is we put extra water, we put extra fertilizer to that banana tree,
Yes.
we give extra sunlight, thinking that after 12 years, if I do all these things, I'll get mango. But which banana tree in this world has given a mango? No. Okay. So that is what structure makes. But I am not saying that we should not have structure. That's not what we are saying. Okay. Let me step back a little bit. For kids' education, we feel, okay, we both very strongly feel, and she's been a teacher, part of the system which gives structured education. And she acknowledging homeschooling, road schooling, or whatever kind of education is actually a big deal, isn't it? So what we feel is we have to spend time with the kid, observe what God gave us. Is it a mango tree, or is it a mango sapling? Is it a banana sapling? Okay, is it a cotton? Then we have to figure out how to nurture that to be the best cotton, to be the best banana, or the best mango. Okay, if we do not spend that kind of a time, all this discussion about structure is good, unstructure is good and all is of no use.
Yeah.
We have to understand and observe our kids. Now, how do we understand our kids? Is through observation. Many times, even in many WhatsApp groups where we are part of and nurture parents towards this, they have this question. Somebody was asking in a Delhi WhatsApp group, at 7 years, should I allow my kid to write in fountain pen or not? Okay. So there are certain people, or many of us are going by the world standards. Oh, there is a rule that only after some 10 years you should use fountain pen or ball pen. But what I would suggest is, okay, your kid is asking if you are able to afford a fountain pen, give the fountain pen. See what is happening. Unless the kid is hurting themselves, okay, only then you go and intervene. Otherwise, you observe what magic is happening there.
Correct.
But our mind is not like that. It is going like this. Arey, maine abhi de diya usko. Will the hand be proper? Will the fingers be able to take it? See, these are all the things that we are taught, isn't it? Will it pain so much? What about the handwriting? What about the neatness? Arey, who cares about it?
Yeah, that's why generally in schools, till 5th grade they need to write with a pencil,
Yes,
and after the
and
5th grade they need
yes.
to write with
Yeah,
Yes.
as though everybody is a part of a machine that comes out from God's nature. No, it
See,
is not
the
like that.
simple thing is, like, these two, they are born to the same parents on the same day. They're twins, right? So they're born to the same parents. They're born on the same day. They have just 2 minutes difference in their birth timing, but they're so different from each other. They learn so different. If two children with same background and same birthday and everything are so different, 30 children in a class are definitely different from each other. They learn different, their output is different, but we try to cater to them in the same manner. All 30 kids or how many ever children we give them the education in the same way, right? And we also expect the same results, because if somebody is not doing well in some subject, instead of trying to understand the child's problem, instead of understanding that he is better at something else, he or she, we try to reinforce that subject. If somebody is bad at math, what do? We put them to math tuition, because we want them to, we think that putting them in math tuition will make him better. But what we see is sometimes it might work, but most of the time it only makes him hate the subject more, because he's already doing it in school, he does not like it. Now he has to do it again in tuition, he does not like it. But as a teacher, what I have seen is, instead, if we encourage what they like, their hobby, if he's good at drawing or stitching, or I have had a child in my class who's very good at stitching. I had to encourage him through his stitching, where he gained the confidence that he's good at something, because till then he felt that he's not good at anything, because that's what the schools make you feel. But if you're not good in your subjects, if you're not scoring well in your subjects, that means you're not good at anything. Encouraging his talent, saying that he is so much better in something which the other kids can't do, built his confidence. The moment his confidence got built, he was able to tackle the subjects which were difficult for him. Previous to that, whichever subject he found it difficult, he was able to take interest in that, because now his confidence was high. So he wanted to do better in other things also. We just concentrate on the subjects. We don't want to encourage their emotions or art or their sports. These things we don't want to encourage. So that really affects.
And actually, I can relate this real time with my experience during the school. And wherever a kid used to score less grades, that they used to be in the overtime sessions of the classes.
Yes.
And then they used to have a different kind of feeling, because they are being differentiated with the other batchmates.
Yes.
With the toppers, they are being differentiated.
Yes.
And then the feelings grows, and then that's how the environment.
Yeah, they don't let them for the PT time or games time. They will say, you stay back and finish your work because you have not done this one. But the child gets to want to play, so you can't keep them away from that and expect them to do better. And
so coming back to your question about structured versus unstructured, I would say it is that there has to be an observation of the child. Some children like structure. So if that child loves or thrives in a structured way of learning, it's okay, let them get a curriculum. But the question should not come first, that which curriculum should I teach? Okay, when that curriculum comes first, then we have pulled the kids out of school, but we have become the school.
No, the thing is, again, when you say structured and unstructured, yes, your question actually means the proper school and unschool. But when I think of structure, see, many children who come to school, their school mostly starts at 8:30 nowadays, early. So the school bus or it comes by 7 or 6:30 sometimes. So what do the children do? It's not that they have a structured life. They are. I know of many children who are woken up 15 minutes before the bus comes, quickly rushed into the bathroom. They are, they rush and in that sleepy without breakfast and anything, they come to the bus. Now throughout the day, because when you don't wake up correctly, we all know it, you are feeling tired and you're not really interested in what's happening in the school. The only time these kids are interested is when there is a break time. They want to spend time with the other children, and they've not had breakfast, they're hungry, they're they're not able to concentrate, and then they go back home. Then there is some work to finish. It's a cycle. They sleep late, they get up late. But if you look at our daughters, I would say they have more structure, because they sleep by 9. Other one, she sleeps a little late, so she gets up at 5:30, gets ready for her yoga class, and she also does her mudra. And 7 to 8 she does yoga, and then we have the proper breakfast time. From 9 to up to 1 o'clock, that one is our lunch time, we give them a free where they can learn what they want. Practice their guitar, or they want to do some subjects. Sometimes they do some math, or they want to do some reading. So they both like reading. So they have that structure. Reading, writing, so drawing. My daughter is showing from there, she loves drawing, so she does drawing. So listening to music, so all this comes in the and sometimes we just have discussions about something. Then after that, in the afternoon they have some other thing. So like that. So this is also a kind of structure, so where they are. See, this structure is keeping them healthy. When you take at that structure, their child is actually, suffering a lot mentally
Yeah.
and physically.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful point, and I see this Amulya and Ananya, they have a very structured way of when to eat, okay, when to sleep, and when to go for play. Okay, these three things as a kid, it's very important, right? And I would really appreciate Ramya for bringing that structure in those areas. But when it comes to study, they don't like structure. Okay, if we force them to read something, it always boomerangs. And also one more thing that I like is, see, if they're deeply doing something, if in a school or a more structured way, they have this, oh, after 45 minutes you have to change to another subject. But what if a kid is trying to do something so important to them that the whole day they want to do that? Right? It happens to us also, right?
Yes.
Okay, some things, or if we hum a song in the morning, the whole day we are humming that song.
Yeah.
Okay, ask us to change that song, we will not change.
Right.
Right? So the kid also has emotions like this, very attached. So in an unstructured way, the way we have done is getting up and sleeping at a certain time is very important, because you have to be in sync with the nature, right? And then eating properly, nutritious food, and at the right time is very important. That is very structured. Okay, and going down to play at 4 o'clock every day and not coming back home at 6:30 till 6:30 is a must. Okay, because they have to grow. Timetable that they
We
make.
both made their timetables.
Okay, we don't make, they only make it.
Yeah.
But hardly they follow. And we don't make a big mess out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, because it is their creativity, isn't it?
We are talking so much about Amulya and Ananya, but where are they? We want them also to join in the session. Hello. So during this pandemic, how challenging was it for both of you? Because traveling might have temporarily halted for a certain time, right? So how challenging was it for you?
Last year when the pandemic started, the thing is we got busy with a lot of things. One is in our society there was a COVID task force which was formed. So we both used to volunteer in that, to manage the many things like manage people and all those things. At home, in fact, I would say we had a lot of good time during the pandemic,
Yes.
because we got to spend a lot of time together at home, and we used to enjoy doing because no maid, so we had to do our work on our own. So we all started enjoying doing work together.
I didn't enjoy sleeping at all.
She was supposed to sweep and she was supposed to mop. And then what happened was, after she sweeps, she would come to mop. She's very much into detail. And she would come and tell me, Amma, see, she's not done this properly. She's not swept here. So I finally said, you know what, you sweep, let her mop.
But it's not fair. I will come and sweep for 30 minutes. She'll come here 2 seconds then. 4 houses then. But
She
then
doesn't
everywhere
sweep for 30 minutes. She used to sweep for 1.5 hours with detail.
So at least it is clean.
So she would nicely wear her earphones, listening to music, and sweep.
Sometimes dance also in
Dance
between.
also while.
Yeah.
So that's what we started enjoying our work, and we used to play games together, and somehow we just got used to being at home, because I think that was new for us, being at home all the time. So
Yeah. See, it's very important when we are doing something little bit new. There is no guide for us, isn't it? Now suddenly we were saying road schooling and travel is stopped. So we had to adapt. So
Yeah.
like she said, we adapted well, and we started enjoying evening time. She used to make something called as a family time,
yeah,
where no screens, nothing.
yeah.
So we just sit together from around 6:30 or 7 o'clock whenever they come back. They have their dinner, and after that we
You want to
just sing.
explain what was the family time?
Like we play games and watch movies or something like that. Do something together
singing and
together and like singing, drawing, Thank you.
And
Yeah.
every single family time she would play Michael Jackson songs because she was crazy about Michael Jackson.
So that is something we used to do the family time, and we used to sing together, or we would play some games like dumb charades, or they had some new games which they taught us. And she likes dancing, so she used to put some new dance steps for the songs and all. Yeah, so that's how we spent. So like I said, we were volunteering, and many days initially there was so much to manage. So we used to be out of the house at least like morning to afternoon. We wouldn't be there. So these
That's
two
the
would,
best part. We can do anything we want until they come back.
but they also, some days, I used to call and tell them that, I don't think I'll be able to come back and make lunch today. I would have got already the bread and everything. So they would make sandwich for themselves, for us also. By the time we come, sandwich, lemonade. So they would keep it all ready. And some days before I come, they would have switched on the washing machine so that, it is all done. So that way, they really managed, they can manage the entire house. So we had a good time actually during
and also a couple of more things apart from the kids learning something is we both got on many video calls, Zoom calls.
Yeah.
And then we started nurturing parents on, now that school is not there, many people are not liking online school.
Yes.
Right, so they are asking, they are like, "Alright, I have to homeschool, I am going to office, what to do?"
Yeah.
So we brought in others also who are very experienced,
Yeah.
and our experiences also we shared. Like every Saturday, Sunday, we would have 2-3 Zoom sessions,
Yeah.
and then we would do that. And then when it opened up, like around August, September, when it opened up, we did a 2,000-kilometer road trip, and we showed to other people how to do contactless travel.
Yeah.
Right, so we were 4 of us. We made a bed. Like many of them know that we travel in our Nano.
Yeah.
Okay, so all our road trips, whatever road trips we do it in our Tata Nano.
Tata
And many people think that you need a big SUV and all that. That is another way of teaching children that with whatever you have, you can live a very good life.
Yeah.
So we did a 2,000-kilometer road trip for about 15-20 days in September 2020. We went to places like Jog Falls, Mangalore and all that places. During that trip, we kept on posting to our travel groups of how to make contactless travel.
Yeah.
Zero contact, okay, but still we are traveling for 15 days.
Yeah.
So that was a very nice thing, learning for us also.
Yeah.
And later on it helped our travel business also, because seeing us do contactless travel, many other people got the guts, okay, to travel either on their own or on our package travels.
Yeah, and the thing is, contactless travel mainly with the food, because that was the main problem. No, everything else you can probably do contactless, but the food while you're traveling. So we used to, we made videos of cooking on the. We bought something like that, changing tent and pocket stuff, and which we would stop in the middle of the road and just at the side on the footpath we used to cook.
And also many people have called us when this work from home started, right? People didn't have to go back to office, right? So then I'll take a live example. There was a lady in our WhatsApp group, and they have either a Maruti 800 or an Alto, right? And their hometown is in Kharagpur. And many people think that an Alto and Maruti 800 cannot travel such distance. But we have done 13,000 kilometers in our Tata Nano.
And we have gone to Tawang, which is like, we have to go to high altitude.
Right.
So
we have driven through snow, we have driven through no roads, all that. So we started inspiring people that no, you should go. They would ask me like, should I go 200 kilometers and stop my car? I said, no. Okay, I have done 900 kilometers, okay, in a single day in a Tata Nano. Right? So when we have such experiences, we use that experiences left and right and center to inspire people, and many people started traveling back to their home in their small cars.
yeah, and
Right.
many women also, because see, women generally don't go on road trips alone. They're maybe they will go with other women, but with a woman and her children going on a road trip is very rare. But I have now got used to this, because since he started traveling, whenever we three wanted to go somewhere or what to do, so one day I just said, I had to go to, my parents are in Mysore, so I wanted to go. I just hired a Zoom car, and so after that, many women, have told me that how do you travel alone on highways? Aren't you afraid? There's no fear. I mean, as long as we are fine, we are not doing anything wrong, I have the confidence that everything is safe on the road. So we three have traveled together, and
yes, and it is so important that a woman talks about it. See, if I talk saying that no, it's okay, you travel, there is one level of confidence. Okay, they always think that okay, he may not know. Okay, what problems women face. So when she gets on these Zoom calls, she explains how other drivers thought there is no man in that car. Okay, my mother, she, and only two girls, and she has done.
First time it was with my mother-in-law also.
Yeah.
The second time it was only the three of us. Yeah, there are times, men have the next to us, the cars which are going, they will peep and see. A woman is driving, is there a man next to her? Or when we stop in the toll booth also, they'll be looking where nobody else is there.
How to handle those situations? And all she used to lively tell, right?
Yeah.
That is very important. Okay, what we have seen is many people stop at just one
some incident
post
happens,
that I did this, but there's a lot of things, preparation that goes behind it. So we want to make that information to reach people, and we also have this a very focused way of dispersing information. We have made it very clear. We don't want to influence 1 million people and become famous. That's not what we want. We want to make a deep impact on few families, and we are very clear it has to be families because we are a family, right? We make more sense to a family. Okay, inspiring singles is at a different level, but inspiring families to travel with young kids and staying in petrol bunks in night, okay, all those things we have done. Why we should not share it? But the way we do it is we don't have a website, we don't YouTube, rarely she blogs, okay, and some things. So what that makes it is anybody who wants information from us, they talk to us one-on-one, or they come into contact through us through some of the WhatsApp groups. It's all closed groups where we know that meaningful people are there, right? So, and this is how we actually do all our activities, where we give our information, and many times we learn from them also, because there are pockets of information where other people are doing very well, isn't it? Only when we talk to them we know, oh, okay, this I can also do.
So so basically during this pandemic, this is what has happened. We have spoken to a lot of people, encouraging them to go on trips, women and families with young kids, and encouraging them for homeschooling. And basically, see, they take a call, we are there to support. They decide to do something, we are there to give them any support they want to. So that's what we have been doing.
In this time and age, many people make people more scared or afraid when they say that I am going on a woman-only trip, that to a road trip. Okay, but her voice inspires them, gives the other side of it. No, you can do it. I have done it. It is safe. Right, and that's most important, we feel.
In fact, we had planned, some of my friends and I, 4 of us, with our children, we were planning to do the Kanyakumari to Kashmir. But then the second lockdown started, and that is when we had to drop it.
Protest
the
Delhi
farmers'
was going
protest
on.
started and all.
And the worst part of the pandemic is that we don't have anything to do at home, so we have to clean. That's all.
Now that we are talking about the pandemic, generally parents are getting worried that their kids are not going to the school, everything is getting halted. They're just sitting at home, time is getting wasted. They don't have any idea that when schools are going to open. So what is that kind of message that you want to pass on to these parents?
So, first of all, it's a myth that a child has to go to school to gain knowledge. Knowledge is available all around us. So from when you wake up till you sleep, there is so much to learn. So, and there are many sources nowadays to gain knowledge, maybe with interaction with people online. So people have a myth about screen time. So they feel that too much screen is not good for children. I agree. Too much screen is definitely not good for their eyes. It has to be monitored, and also what they are watching on screen should be monitored. You can't just give the screen and be ignorant of what they are actually doing on screen. It's important that parents also take interest in what the child is watching, or are they learning from what they are watching, which is about animals. So they go deep into each animal, the way it lives, where does it live, what is its food, and so these kind of shows. Yeah, and entertainment, of course. So we also we take interest in what they're watching. There's something they watch called My Little Pony. We also watch with them, sit with them and watch. What is this? There are many ways to gain knowledge. What are they reading? It's important the parents also know that what children are doing. And there are many ways to give knowledge, gain knowledge. It takes some effort from parents to sit with the child or just spend some time with the child every day and make sure that they are learning.
One live example that I can give is Ramya and her brother. Ramya got introduced to English music through her brother with Michael Jackson. She was explaining that to the kids, and Ananya took fancy to Michael Jackson. And you won't believe, 24/7, she would either listen to Michael Jackson music, draw Michael Jackson, or write the lyrics of Michael Jackson.
We bought her a book on Michael Jackson.
And then she didn't read it at all.
She did half of it. She did half of it. She knew everything. She even knew where he was buried, how he died, where he was born, how many siblings. So yes. She can do a PhD on Michael Jackson.
She is, yeah. I would say she's one of die-hard fan and one of the most knowledgeable person about Michael Jackson.
He's a reboot of Michael Jackson. He died in 2009. She was born in 2010. Makes sense.
Yeah, but the traditional thing, what I would say is, usually a parent will start thinking, oh, they are learning Western music. Why don't they learn shlokas? If they had learned shlokas, their pronunciation will become better, memory will become better. That's how traditionally we are trained to think, because we heard all those things from our previous generation. But I would like to give you one incident. Once she got that, she is not a kid who likes to write. Okay, how much ever you ask her, she would give some excuse. This paining, the pencil letters broken, something, and she will stop writing. But once she wanted to write the Michael Jackson lyrics, okay, she would come and ask. Okay, first she would go to YouTube, then she will get that, and then she will pause and she'll keep writing. Then she'll come and ask me certain spellings that she does not understand. Appa, what is this? Right? And she's not the kind who will, previously to that she will understand spelling and then keep it in her mind. You told the spelling, she wrote, after that it's gone out of her mind. Right? But see, all those things automatically came. But why did that come? Because we allowed her to deal with that 24/7. Because some magic is happening, we don't understand. Okay, if we immediately put a biased lens around it, that why you are wasting time, you are getting into US and all that, which typically many of us do, then that magic is lost. Then what happened? One day she saw us using a laptop, typing something in Word and then using all the shortcuts. Okay, Control E is center, Control B is bold, Control U. She came, she asked, can I also do this instead of writing? You won't believe, in 1 minute, okay, we showed her all the shortcuts and now she is computer literate, she knows Word. See, this is how we have to pull kids during these times, very tough times, because if we keep saying that don't use screen, like she said, you have to get involved in their life.
Yeah.
Monitoring does not mean that you put one software monitor and only when you get a beep on your phone that your kid is watching something that they should not watch, you go and check.
I also believe that when we were young, we were restricted from watching TV. Watching TV is bad. It is, that's the thing, no? Yeah. Somebody who watches TV always is not a good thing. Now in this generation, TV is still okay, but now if you're going to watch mobile or tab for too long, then it is bad. So every generation something or other comes up. But what I suggest is parents should, what I have felt, what I have seen is that parents should themselves teach the children how to use the screen correctly. Use it safely. If you're playing even a game online, what kind of games are safe to play. And in fact, many parents are worried about letting their children onto the social media. But this is the truth. Nowadays, social media is what is going on. If we don't let them, they will find another way of going on to it. Instead, it is better the parent shows how to use the social media safely, instead of they finding out from some friend or somebody else and doing something wrong on it and getting into trouble. So instead, show them correctly that this is the way it has to be used. It has so many problems. Many people who are able to access your privacy or your details through this. So teach them how to keep it private, what can be shared, what cannot be shared. Parents themselves should get involved and teach their children that this is the way. You're using WhatsApp, so they now know how to use the WhatsApp correctly. So in the right way.
Can I ask a question to you?
Yes.
You put your pictures on status and all that, na? Then?
So there is a way of locking your picture and all those things, which you still don't know.
I can still see your Appa's pictures on the status.
Yeah, only some people can see our
Yeah,
pictures.
you'll get to know about it when you grow up like me.
Yes.
That time you'll also be allowed.
So Ananya and Amolya, what were the recent places that you have visited?
Rajasthan, Agra, Mysore, and Gandikota.
And before that?
And if I ask you to make a list from the start?
I can't remember.
But try to remember some. Which are the places you've been to?
Meghalaya,
Arunachal Pradesh, Tawang in that thing. Then Sikkim, I've been to Sikkim, she's not been to Sikkim.
Roing,
Then
Meghalaya,
I've been
Shillong.
to
Shillong is in
Borong. My
Meghalaya.
favorite place in that place is this hotel. What's that place? Where I met the dogs. Which is that place?
Rahul Homestay.
Huh?
Rahul Homestay.
Why did you like that place?
Because there are 2 dogs over there. That's why.
So what did you?
Yes, very much.
So how did you feel when we met her? After a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, very happy.
Any other?
How do you feel when you shower?
How do you?
Very nice. Yeah. Except for when we go on winding road, she always vomits.
So we went into the snow. So how did you enjoy seeing
You
this?
did, I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I did not.
No,
enjoy
but then initially you played with the snow.
Yeah, but
it. She made a snowball and threw it into my jacket.
Take the revenge then?
Yeah, I tried to, but she ran away. I don't like snow. I never want to go in snow again.
Why you don't like snow?
Because it's very cold and she'll put another snowball in my jacket.
Next thing that I loved about you is that you follow this no plastic or no junk philosophy is what I heard, and also you follow this life skills of introducing them to your kids like self-defense, cleanliness, or let that be animal compassion on nature. So I want you to elaborate on this a little bit.
Nowadays there is a lot of plastic everywhere, but what we try is as less plastic as possible. We try to reuse whatever plastic we have to get or we take, and we try to be minimalistic when it comes to buying. Like for example, Gangu can go more into detail. He doesn't change his phone as long as possible until it's really not working, because again phone is a plastic. So when you are buying a new one, you're wasting the old one, and that waste again gets into the landfill, and
Or you
it
could give it to
affects.
me.
Yeah. So like that, we try as much as possible to buy less, so that we create less waste, less plastic, because most of the things you buy nowadays has some bit of plastic. Even if you go for clothes, many of our all these sports clothes and all, they are made out of fiber material, and they don't degrade so easily. So that is one thing, and Yeah, of course, waste.
We don't buy plastic bottles, water,
Yeah, we don't
bottled
buy,
water, we don't buy.
We avoid buying plastic water bottle. Many things like that, you know, we have cut down. Furniture is something I have never believed in having too many furnitures, clothes. Gangu to hardly buys clothes, so he is very minimalistic. And
See, the car that we use, it's 10 years old. We just don't keep changing the car. There's so many plastic inside the car also.
yes,
But if we keep on going like this, but somewhere, for example, we say that metal bottles are better than plastic bottles. But to get that metal bottle also, somebody did mining somewhere,
yeah,
isn't it? So there is no end to it. So what we do is, we don't make it like a suffocating philosophy in our life, but we do it very practically, as much as possible. What works for us, we do that, and we are very happy with whatever little bit we do. And in the events that we take, for the travel that I take, the camping I take, there was a lady who came to Meghalaya, and she brought all the steel plates, steel glasses for the driver also, and spoons. Okay. And what happened is, 7 days we are traveling, the whole of Cherrapunji now believes that when Gangu brings guests to Cherrapunji, they'll all be very clean. They will not use plastic. So that kind of thing also happens many times, because people are inherently, they want to save the planet, but just that we don't know, because plastic is everywhere, isn't it? So that way also we handle. And when we do these camping events, there also we say, do not bring, or the villagers, they try to give some plates which is made up of either plastic or paper lined with plastic. Sometimes it's inevitable, we have to use it, there's no other go. But many times we ask people to get their own plates and glasses.
And sometimes the cows eat it before we can do anything.
Yes.
So, see, I have always been fond of animals and nature. I've been brought up. We were in an individual house, so in those days, you know, it was common for a cat to come or dog to come near the house, or so. And my mom used to, you know, feed the dog or the cat or whatever comes. So humanity aspect, it's very important nowadays. Children, what I have seen is they are intellectualized, but they are not. They don't have empathy towards many things. And that comes when we are empathetic towards nature or towards another human being. Or nature is bigger. We are nothing in front of it, and that's what I want to give them also, the message that nature is bigger. No matter how much we are doing. Yes, we are saving. We are trying to not use plastic. We are doing many things. But all that is nothing compared to what nature is. If nature wants to correct itself, if it wants to heal itself, it can start one small COVID virus and make it all right. But we have to do our part. We can't just say that, you know, okay, it will take care of itself and not go on. So, and that is how, you know, and I try to teach them that we are not separate from animals or insects or reptiles. We are not separate from them. The human being is also part of nature. But over the years, we have come away. So that is why we think that we have this feeling that we are better than every other being. But that's not the truth. Every being has its own intelligence, own way of coping with things. So they have observed a lot of these. Since we travel, and on travel they have observed a lot of all these animals,
Especially lizards, because many lizards come for her.
so slowly we have taught them to respect the nature, that, you know, don't harm anything. Anything comes, let it live. Just because we don't like it or we don't whatever, let's not kill it or harm it. So wherever we go, we try to teach them that nature is very important. We have to take care of it, or not take care of it. We have to learn to live with it.
And also one question that many people have is, why did we choose Northeast India as a destination for road schooling, or even taking people through our travel business? So in short, if I have to tell, we see Northeast India as a very advanced society. Not that other societies down in the South India or West or North is not advanced. What we mean by that is, those people have somehow figured out that money does not come first in life. Living a good life, a simple life, a meaningful life comes first. So now that they have figured out that, not only figured out that, they are also living a life, showing by example. They walk the talk. So what we feel good about it is, if we go more and more there, we ourselves become a better human being, right? And that's how we are also getting all these confidence of quitting a corporate job, okay, scaling down our life, all that. How do we know? Because there is somebody else.
And like that, we have had many experiences where, people have been kind without any expectations. So that teaches them humanity. That, you have, if somebody is in trouble, you have to help them.
Knowing about your stories, knowing about your journey, you are setting up a great example to the society, and in fact it is quite inspiring to know all of these things related to the real time life that we live in. So I want to wind up this episode with a strong message of yours to the audience watching this episode.
So when it comes to quality education, some of us have this time and ability to give a better education to our children than what is available out in the market. So for those of us who have this ability to give a better education, we don't have to outsource the education to somebody else. Our kids are so important to us. So my request and my sincere request to parents will be, we should not be in a hurry to deliver this knowledge to our children. We should first give them the required time. That is number one, the basic foundation of homeschooling or unschooling or road schooling, which we call it as Jivana Sikshana, or an education to live a good life, should be family time, parents available to the kids when they need. And the second thing is, when that family time happens, observe the children, right? And when you observe the children, leaving out our lenses, okay, what we have been taught as education or not as education, and when we unlearn all those things and see kids, then we can see the magic happening in them, right? And then when we decipher that magic, then we will know how to educate them. And many times in our experience, we realize that keeping our mouth shut is a very big good thing that we do to our kids. Otherwise, we have so many things to tell them which is irrelevant. See, I think she's agreeing to that, isn't it? There are so many things that we think that we should give to the children. But if we go their way and see what is that they are trying to do, and allow them to do better and better in that, that is the best education that we can ever give them. And an education that is more focused on employment, or on getting a big salary, or just getting some prominent position in the society. It might look good from outside, but we should allow the kid to first figure out who they are, allow failures, and for that we have to give time to the kids, right? And only parents will have the tendency to teach things like ethics, kindness and all that. The world will teach them to be rude, to be harsh, to survive. But in the face of harshness, how to be kind, only parents can teach. Okay, there's no other soul in this world who will have that time or the urge to teach that to our parents. So at least that much we have to teach our parents. So this is a message that I would like to give.
That was a wonderful message. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time to us, sharing your story, sharing your journey, and setting up a great example to the society. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thanks for giving us an opportunity also. Thanks to PMC TV and to all of you.
Thank you so much. So in this episode of Unplugged with Masters, we were in conversation with Mr. Gangadharkrishnan and Mrs. Ramya Lakshminath. So stay tuned to PMC English for more updates.